Don't mind the art. Hello my YouTube family, welcome or welcome back. Today's video is going to be hoodoo based. We always love a hoodoo video. And this is going to be specifically for my kitchen witches, but this is also just to emphasize the resourcefulness that you need in tarot. In hoodoo. These are things that you already have in your home or that you likely already have in your home that you can use to be resourceful in your practice. You can check out the full list in the description. I have my website linked, so it'll be the very first link down there. Go check it out if you want to see the full extended list, hunty. But we're just going to run through a couple of them and give you some examples on how to use everyday things you have in your kitchen as a hoodoo conjurer. We are going to start with like kitchen tools, utensils, gadgets, things of that nature. One that is super obvious and super simple is jars. Any kind of jars, small containers, Tupperware, mason jars. These are great for containment spells. Spells where you want to contain energy or conceal certain energies. So maybe you are sick of someone's behavior and you want to stifle that behavior, nip it in the bud. You're going to write them and some information, maybe add a herb or two in there and conceal it. Close it up. What you mean? Another interesting one is forks. You can use forks in your spiritual practice, in your hoodoo practice, yes. Forks can be good for, of course, penetrating things, penetrating certain energies, whether this be positive or negative. But they're also good for rejecting energies, pushing away certain energies. So think about that when you are eating or cooking, or maybe just go grab a fork and use it for a spell. I don't know, up to you. Another one that I'll run through for like that kind of counts in utensils and gadgets and stuff is lighters and matches, even your stove top. Fire magic, baby. Use that, okay? Everything. Use everything at your disposal. This is great for intention setting as well. So moving on to fresh things, produce. Celery. This is one that I learned maybe like a couple months ago, and I used to really love celery. I don't eat it a lot anymore, but it made sense for that period of time that I was eating it so much. Look at that. So celery is really associated with concentration and focus. Also associated with your spiritual abilities. They're super heavy and dense in water. It has a lot to do with clarity as well. So if you catch yourself eating a lot of celery, maybe you got some downloads coming, you got some clarity that needs to be invited in. The next thing we'll go over is oranges. I love oranges, first of all. Oranges are actually a common offering for a lot of energies, deities, whatever you want to call it. What do they represent? Prosperity, abundance, joy, fresh energy. You can use them in your Florida water. Go check out my video, wherever it is. I made a video showing you how to make your own Florida water, and oranges are super simple and they're something you usually already have. They're also associated with sun magic. So even if the sun isn't shining, baby, if you got an orange, make it do what it do. Last one that I'll talk about is potatoes, girl. What? Potatoes? Yes, girl, potatoes. Potatoes are good for absorbing energy, especially absorbing and trapping negative energy. It literally kind of sucks out and draws out the negative energy from the room or the person or the situation. Let me be clear. This is not something that is transmuting energy. So just because it sucks out the negative energy doesn't mean it's replacing with positive energy. But it's super helpful in a pinch. And you can, draw a little face on there, do what you got to do. Hey, this is your practice, not mine. I don't know. Do whatever you want. Next, we're going to move into the spice rack, honey. Go to the cabinet. I'll wait. Okay, I'm impatient. Let's go. Nutmeg. I know you got nutmeg in there somewhere, honey. Could be replaced with cinnamon as well, but nutmeg is the one, okay? It's the one for fast action. It's the one for attracting good luck and good fortune. So it's really good for things like gambling. Or if you have maybe a couple applications that you just sent in, nutmeg. Now, if you're already working a job, you might use some cinnamon to attract even more abundance in the job you already have. Does that make sense? Kind of gave you a 2 for right there, 2 for 1. And okay, next is thyme. This is one I use all the time. Like, I use it a lot because I always have it. This one's really good for healing, for cleansing, for purification. It can also actually help with your sleep and with blocking out interferences during sleep. So it could help you with nightmares as well. Who doesn't want better sleep? Okay, next we're gonna go to like the kind of baking-ish, pantry-ish section. And we're gonna start with the sugar and the honey. I already know, and you already know, but we're gonna talk about it anyway, because it's a good one. Attraction, drawing energy in. Confirmation, drawing sweet energy in, not just any energy. It's specifically used in spells to improve your situation, to improve and heighten the energy and the likelihood of good and desired outcomes. Flour, yes girl, flour is used for protection as well. You can even use this to draw like sigils or things like that for like temporary spells, since it's fairly easy to clean depending on how much you use. You can get specific with it and use bleached white flour or pure, or whatever. I'm not a baker, but set your intention based on what you have. So this could be, if you have just pure white flour, this could be purification, protection. If it has a tinge of brown or yellow, I've seen different flours. I don't know the names. I don't know. But use that in your practice. Do with that what you will. Overall, it's about like protection and purification, grounding the energy and setting a stable, protected energy. One that I learned also this year that I thought was interesting is oats. Oats are another thing I used to like eat often, like very often, even before I knew about the spiritual stuff. And it kind of makes sense now that I look back. But oats have a lot to do with money and abundance. Not just the growth of your abundance and your money and your wealth, but the stability and like maintaining that wealth. Kind of like how like oatmeal thickens in the pot, it just gets thick and it stabilizes. That's kind of what you can imagine. All right, the last category is kind of like miscellaneous, whatever. I don't know what other category they would go into. Like I said, be sure to check the description below if you want the full list. If you're like, girl, this is good, I need some more, check the description. Also, check my website if you want a reading. I don't know, do your thing. Okay, one thing that seems obvious, but I've never seen people talking about it. Using paper towels, absorbing energy, writing somebody's name on a paper towel and absorbing a certain oil or a liquid or, whatever. It can also kind of talk about like dissolving energies. So this could be really good for like absorbing a different energy than you currently have, or dissolving the energy of a situation, something like that. Another good one, ice. Hello. Ice is good for stopping things, blocking things, hindering things, slowing things down. So this is good for like freezing spells, stopping certain outcomes or certain behaviors. Also, depending on what your ice looks like, the kind of ice that you get out of your fridge or that you make, you could use it to, maybe cloud up some things. Create a lack of clarity in a sense. One thing that you can use, even if it's like dirty and old, your sponges. You can use those in spells for all sorts of things, because it's yet another thing that talks about cleansing, absorption, or if it's already dirty, do with that what you will. And the last one we'll talk about is food scraps. Now, obviously, I feel like this is one that most spiritual people do if they have like food scraps, especially if you're into hoodoo and things like that. You'll give it maybe to the land, right? You'll put it by a bush or a tree or something like that, return it to the earth. And it's no different here. So you can do that as well with your food scraps. You can do that with actual food meals if you want to do that, if you want to make something and set it out for the world, setting out for the spirits, okay? You can also do with this what you will. Use your scraps and rotten food, old food for chaos magic, which I do often, and it's awesome. Your fruit went bad. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Chaos magic. So yeah, that is what I have for you today. Those were just a couple of them, y'all. So yes, go check out the link in my bio if you want the full list. You can always just open the link anytime. Like literally, it's free. So go check it out anytime. If you need to come back to it or come back to this video, do that. Because resourcefulness is key in your spiritual journey. You don't want to have to spin to feel like you have to be spiritual and do the things you want to on your journey. So if you enjoyed it, make sure to like and make sure to comment below which one of these was kind of surprising to you and which one of these is like, oh girl, I do that every day all the time, honey. And if there's any that you did not hear that you're like, oh, you need to add this one in there, definitely comment below. I'd be thrilled to hear what you guys have to say. Like, I'm very, very interested. I'm curious, so let me know. All right, guys, until next time, thanks for watching, and yeah, make sure to subscribe. See you later. Bye. Mad at the fact he ain't with you. Mad at the fact that it's me. This shit bigger.